Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. Another show review for you. We have the PCA East Anglia, I believe it was. Yeah, it was. So this was the 23rd of June, so literally yesterday. So we're actually on time with this one. Apologies, the other one. This will probably come out within a couple of days, but the last one we did was a little bit delayed. WMBF, IMBA. So neither of us were at the show, but Reese has been chatting to the Physique Overall winner. We're going to get him on. Spoiler alert, he's already in the thumbnail, or he will be, because the thumbnail is going to be the four winners. Admin man will sort that.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna get the PCA show. I don't think they did as many reels. I love reels.
Yeah, it might not have been that busy of a show. Like it is funny, and again, I feel like I say this and we say this every week, but I do honestly think like it gets to like a Sunday and like randomly I'll just refresh Instagram and I'll be like, oh, PCA, another show. Like, what's this one?
Fair,
I feel like they just
there's pros and cons to it. Like it's admirable that they're able to put on a show every weekend, and sometimes like two on a weekend, and all the shows are very good and they're always ran well. But also, it kind of takes away from, not going to say like the standard, because a lot of the time the standard is good, but obviously the more shows, like it is going to dilute it.
Yeah, definitely.
Imagine if
I
PCA did one
feel like if you would, yeah, mate, it'd be crazy. Like, it'd be the same as like obviously I know they only give the pro cards out to like obviously the universe, I think there's an island one and finals, but like I do think there's that kind of thought process where it's like I feel like anybody's got like a PCA win nowadays, which is a bit of a bad thing. Like everybody's got like one first place with a PCA where they've turned up and the overall quality was maybe just a bit meh. But additionally, like you then get, and it's really random, you then get some shows where it's like absolutely stacked. There's almost like, I feel like there's no in between. It's almost like, oh, this show was like a bit meh. And then there's other shows where it's like, Jesus Christ, this is a joke. But the one thing I think does stay true is the overall winners usually are pretty good. Like rarely ever we see an overall winner and you're like, how the fuck is he winning overall?
Yeah.
Like usually the guys who win over the girls who win overalls are still like, okay, they're actually really good. But a lot of the times, like for example, the men's physique guy, I saw the reel they posted, Danny of the in the overall, and it was like so obvious it was his. Like I
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, he's won. Like I would almost like it's one of those where like if you were backstage and you'd watch the reels, you'd just be like, okay, cool, I've won the overall. Like you wouldn't even there wouldn't even be a thought. It'd be like, I've won the overall. Obviously when you're in your own head, you probably have that element of self doubt. But additionally, like there are some overalls where it's like if Danny didn't turn up, the other people, you'd be a bit like, how's he won an overall? Because it's not as good. But there's usually one good guy as a minimum. But overall, I thought the show standard was pretty sound. Like I said, if we want to work our way through, there was, I think, a few people that I saw randomly pop up, but not many people I actually know. Usually you see a few people that, like will follow and stuff like that. I didn't really know anybody other than Danny, who's a massive fan of the podcast, so much that he's asked us multiple times, are you going to review the PCA Universe weekend? Because his girlfriend, she won I think she won an overall, and I think he wanted her to listen to us talk about it because he said he listens to all of them, which is quite cool.
His girlfriend won as well.
No, his girlfriend, I don't know if he did, I don't think she did this one, but she did the universe. That he's messaged me and he's commented, hey guys, are you doing he's asked me on a question box. I've seen his name like 5 times about ask about it. So I think he was like wanting us to
At least
talk
some
about
people
it.
like
I know,
it.
I think
Most people,
yeah, exactly.
don't. Most people complain.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got Dave Baldry, surname perfect for an
I
individual
wonder
as
if
bold as him,
he, I wonder if
winning the
like,
overall.
yeah, I wonder if he's named after his head or vice versa. He looks fucking good though.
Yeah, yeah, he does, to be fair. Do you reckon like maybe he just came out of birth and they were like, Baldry, nope.
He's just never,
Just
never
like, sorry.
grown any hair. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
You look great.
Yeah, you do look great,
To be fair, like you
but
said,
you are
standard of
bold.
the winners is fucking really good.
Yeah. We've got fitness, female, Fatali?
Fitness,
Fatal?
Fatal.
Fatal?
There he
Yeah.
is.
There he is. Danny Hands. And then Jesse Andrews. Did they post reels today on this show, mate, or
No, this
not?
is what I'm
I'm
saying.
pretty
I
sure
don't
they
think
did.
they did.
Oh no, no, go on the reel page, like the reel tab. I'm sure I've seen reels, unless they just deleted them.
Usually they're
You
on
know,
this
on
thing.
Instagram, there's like a reel.
Yeah, I know, but usually they are on that.
Yeah, I think because they
Unless they've
we can spam in
updated.
them. I think they've almost like yeah, they don't have them anymore, like showing on the main page. Sanaya just said there's a lot of hate on one of them, which yeah,
Well, we can't review that then because we'll get
I'm not
in.
sure. I think it might.
Is it that one? 17.2K? Usually the
There were
ones
what
ones that have a lot.
yeah, it's usually the ones that have the most views.
Oh, 50.7. I imagine it's that. But then it's
Yeah.
got no comments.
Uh, was it toned figure, Sanaya? Sanaya said it was a toned figure girl, apparently.
Okay.
So I'm not too sure. We'll revert, we'll adverse not we won't say anything to incriminate us because for some reason you can post stuff online and give opinions, but we can't give opinions on a YouTube video if it's not positive. But I'm going to guess there's probably a reason why people have said stuff. So maybe the person you mentioned can go, yeah, I probably need to reassess my options. But again, that's what other people would probably suggest, not us. We love everybody.
It is funny though, like you say,
Everyone, you could turn up out of shape.
people will just chat shit about people behind the back or comment through a bot account. Whereas when we say constructive criticism on a podcast, it's being harsh. Like, no,
Yeah,
like it's the opposite. We're never on here like going, oh my God, they look so awful. Like, no, like probably like you say, reassess your options, maybe take some time off, like spend some time getting leaner or building more
yeah,
muscle. We're not on a random account being
yeah,
like, the fucking shit. He looked good. Sorry, I
yeah,
skipped past that.
exactly. And the worst
Junior
thing is that
bodybuilding.
I said, yeah. No, I mean, I said to you the other day, didn't I? Like sometimes PCA they post reels and they delete the comments because if they're like two in the class and the guy that's second or the guy that's second's pretty poor, they'll turn the comments off. And I honestly do think like it would be better if the night before you get your tan, you literally you go and get your tan and there's one person from the PCA and they be that high, okay shape, and they go, yeah, cool. But if you're like legit so out of shape and just don't understand, it should be like, okay, cool, get a refund. This would Finland should get a refund.
Yeah,
Don't come to the show.
we did say
Thanks for
that.
coming. Like, but just aim for like or and just literally give them free entry or keep them money
Yeah.
and give them free entry and a free tan for a show 3 months down the line. Say maybe you could do this one, and then and then it's a case where PCA don't get bad rep. People can give their opinions, and also it does look better on the federation
Oh,
instead of them
100%.
posting reels of
Yeah.
people because are so out of
I
shape that
get,
it's
I
like,
get why they
what do
post
you
the
expect?
reels because it's almost like, well, I competed with you, like I deserve a reel as well. It's like part of what you
Yeah.
get now, you know what I mean? So people will want that. I do get why they
Mm.
will post them for most people, or if you place, they'll post a reel about you. Completely get it, but that would never happen, like what you've just said. But it would actually benefit bodybuilding. Um, it would benefit people's long term, like long term mental health and self esteem would actually be benefited if they were to be told a day out. Okay, you're probably not ready yet. Here's this show. I think you should do that. But like
Yeah.
you say, you'll have a place in that show, or we'll give you a refund. Come back in a year's time. You
Yeah.
need a lot more muscle. Spend more time growing. Like, but also that's kind of people know that anyway as well. You know what I mean? Like, at least
Yeah.
I think people do. Like most people know if they're at the level or not. And people are, again, I've said it before, people, if they're happy to compete and they know they're not at the level, cool, that's fine. As long as you know you're not at the level and as long as you're not expecting the best results. You're
Yeah.
not going, oh, I should have placed when you're not on that level. But yeah, that would never happen, but it would be good if it did happen, wouldn't it? Mate, this
Yeah.
guy's
No, it
peeled.
would be. Yeah. First one. Comment. Let's go. D Wilson UK. Peeled.
He is peeled.
Yeah.
Yeah, ginger training. Absolutely peeled. I'm surprised he came third. But I think this is the class that
Yeah. PCA.
the overall winner won. This guy came second. This guy beat him.
How is this guy beat? How is that guy beat? What? That's one of the. No. Sure.
I mean, he's massive.
Mate, I don't think we've ever. Yeah, but I don't think we've ever had a reaction like that. Like, we were like, what?
Has anybody commented on it? Oh,
That's a.
comments are off. I'm going to shoot. Well, they might not be.
Uh, yeah. No, comments are on. You can. Oh no, there are. You can see when you go on it. There's still a comment button.
Surprising.
That's. I know he's bigger, but that doesn't
You never know
For
when you're not there.
PCA, you don't
When you're not there, you
make
don't know.
much sense.
Like, but
Like
usually these
if
reels
it,
don't do people justice.
but that's a big gap condition wise,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
unless the
I agree.
guy that got third just couldn't pose or
Yeah,
like
that's what I mean. You
just
weren't there. Like,
yeah,
we can give
but
our
that's a
opinion,
big
but it is difficult when you're not there.
yeah.
He might have had an amazing routine, but then you stand him next to the other guys, and in the actual mandatory poses, he just didn't look right. You know what I mean? He wasn't posing well.
Yeah,
There is a lot that goes into it.
yeah, yeah. Or he just like went on really nervous, and then by the time his routine was gone, he wasn't as nervous, so he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, sick." Oh mate, no. Think go back onto that Masters guy. He does a Jay Cutler quad stomp. I was like, what a dude. Go back, like not him. He's a bigger dude. I think he's maybe second in this lineup.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
watch this. I'm pretty sure it's him.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's Jay Cutler right there. Love that. Hits the most muscular. Fuck yeah, bro.
There's a
Love
guy,
it.
like I said, at the WMBF, exactly what you were saying about people should be told, like, you're not ready. Did Shannon show you? She did, didn't she? I think there's a video of the teen class, and there was one of the young lads, bless him, like he was really soft, didn't have a lot of
Yeah,
muscle, and he did like the quad like swipe, like when people like if you're like swiping your quad, like, and it was literally like really out of shape. But again, like not even taking the piss. He should. Fair enough if he wants to compete. I completely get that, and like it's nice. This is great that bodybuilding is getting popular, but also he's just wasting time dieting and getting on stage. Like he didn't even get lean. Like just spend time growing. Like
yeah,
it's you don't want people getting this deluded perception. And the thing is as well, I've had a few clients message me about different people winning classes and going like, "Is this the standard?" Messaging me going like,
yeah,
"Is this what they're looking for?" And I'll say like there probably just wasn't someone better on the day. You know what I mean? Like, and that's no disrespect to the winner. They obviously deserve to win on the day, but it does leave people with like a skewed perception of what the level is or the expectation is. And again, some people will turn up and win a show based on the fact that there just wasn't anyone else in the class or wasn't anyone else better in the class. But doesn't mean that they're amazing. But then like they might compete again in 3 years' time and get beat by better people and be like, what? You know what I mean? Or compete again in another show 2 weeks down the line and come dead last. It is again, bodybuilding's about who you're up against. I think this is the one. Toned figure first place. No comments. So I'm assuming this is the one that had like
oh yeah. I
50K.
saw. No, they had comments on this. I saw someone share it, and the top comment was like, "Isn't tone figure supposed to be like dot dot toned?"
Yeah.
And like, I think this probably she was the only one in the class, and like, it's one of those like,
So what I
obviously,
mean,
I
it's
think
not.
she knows she'd need, like,
Yeah, but it's also it's
it
like
does,
I do feel for the athlete because fair enough, she needs to be leaner. But she could have been going into that show being like, yeah, I need to be leaner, but let's just go for it and see who's there. She ends up winning because no one else is there, or there's maybe not a very good class. But then she gets shit on Instagram. It's like I don't blame them for turning the comments
yeah.
off, really.
It's like Jack Eagles in 2022 when he turned up at the Two Bros one at like 12 weeks out.
Yeah, but he knew he was like, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I was gonna say you could
Yeah,
take him, but I
yeah,
think he did get a bit like whenever we kept rinsing him for it, he was a bit like, yeah. Bless him. To be fair, look at him now.
totally upset him. But yeah, he was like, like fucked him. He was like, we're just podcast reviewers who tell people that they're out of shape apparently, and then we just get criticism for it. Fuck.
I think that's who won WMBF.
Same day, mate. I don't. Oh no, it wasn't. Sorry, it was a week later. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure she won. Literally, we just went. Yeah, it is. We literally went over.
yeah.
She won the overall at WMBF. She's really good. She
Oh,
doesn't look natty. She's like, but she's just obviously got that much muscle and trained for that many years. Yeah, it doesn't look like a busy show. A lot of the time there's
and I will say this girl definitely does not look nice. She
no, no. This was thingy's client, Matt LeMay's client, Matt Wolf.
the fact they only posted one, I'm gonna yeah. I'm gonna guess that there's only one in the class, but Matt looks good. This is the dude, man, who got second to Cam. So he was the one
Was it?
who was 20 pounds softer than Cam. Yeah, he was 20 pounds softer than Cam.
Okay. Surprised Matt
He was in good nick. I thought the
LeMay's
PCA.
not told you off for that.
I thought the PCA
Oh,
match
he
he
hates
was
us now. Hates you.
yeah. Nah. It hates me. No, I think he looked really good. Front double was really nice. Like presentation's pretty good. Like he looks good. It's one of those for him. I guarantee if he was to be pushed harder, because he could be sharper,
Yeah,
but like if he was to be pushed harder, it wouldn't surprise me, especially the natty, if his physique was to like
the
somewhat wither
guy's
away.
a
Because
bit.
like for
Yeah.
physique, obviously, yeah.
He also,
Like
I
this
think
is like him. I think
his posing can definitely improve. He like
yeah,
in the pose, he's good, but his transitions are a little bit robotic,
yeah, I agree.
which is just time and
Yeah,
practice.
he took the thing Kelly Fitex protocol last year.
Yeah, one for one, mate. So what I mean,
Yeah,
I
exactly. Way
think
better.
I'm the best men's physique athlete ever because I've done one show and won. What if I competed at another one and come dead last? Like it'll ruin my
Yeah,
self-esteem. So I'm just going to keep it at one. I honestly think I'm
yeah,
better than Ryan
yeah. I get
Terry.
that. That's what I feel
I
good.
reckon I would. I reckon I'd be close with Ryan Terry because I have done one show and won. Yeah, he's good. Should we bring him
Wait,
in?
wait, you got a better record.
If you send him the link,
Yeah, let's get him in. Drop me. Can how do I make? Do I
just send him the link
do
that
I
I
can I
sent
get it
you.
from here, or is it because you're the
No, just send him the link
okay?
that I
Cool.
sent you on
One sec.
WhatsApp. We're bringing
Okay.
the overall winner in, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We need to do an icebreaker and say, Danny, you've done 8 shows in 6 weeks. Why is this the one that you weren't fat in and you actually were like legit peeled, like really, really good condition? Because I swear, this guy's like he was in wicked condition at 6 weeks out. And then before he stepped on stage, and I was like, why is he fat? Like, what? It was
stress and
weird.
stuff does you never know. Like it might be someone that struggles managing like stress in the days leading up to it. Here he is. See if we have any technical issues like we usually do.
Yeah. Danny Hands.
Now it'd be good to ask him about how
My
busy the show was.
yeah.
Here
Here
he
he
is.
is.
Good evening, guys.
How you
How you
doing,
doing,
mate?
mate? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I'm sat outside a Airbnb in Hove, Brighton, because this is where I'm based, and my missus gets up at 4 to go to the gym, so she's like asleep.
Ah, cool,
So
man.
yeah, this is the best. I haven't got a podcast studio or anything cool like that. So
We've just
how
got
are
you.
you guys? You're good?
All good, mate. I'm not sure if you can see the screen, but we've got your reel playing from the PCA. And I thought I'd ask, mate,
Yeah.
because I followed you for I think before I can't remember when I followed you. I saw your like prep updates when you were like actually coming into the first show. And at like
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 weeks out, you were like legit peeled. I thought you were in really good nick. And I think you said you've done 8 shows. How come this is like the first show where you're like legit peeled? Because the rest I feel like you've almost been like slightly like off by quite some distance.
So what we did, we experimented with carb loading. So the first show I did was FitX, which was God, that was like the 18th of May. So
I saw you. I saw you at that. I was in the crowd. I remember thinking, like, I searched your Instagram up and I was like, what the fuck has he done? Because you looked so bad in comparison. I'm sorry, I'm being honest. Like, because you looked
yeah, no, go
awesome.
ahead.
You look really fucking good. And then I saw you and I was like, what? What's happened here?
So what we did was we actually got married in February in Mexico, all inclusive wedding, 2 weeks all inclusive. Up until that point, I was at like in like a kind of mini sort of growing phase in between. I did the British finals at PCA, which was November the 6th. Did a little bridge, put on about 10, 15 kilo, stripped that straight back off, lost about 20 kilo to come down for this period. And then basically what I did is I decided I was going to do classic, which meant I was going to have to go to a different level of lean. Obviously, I had to
Mm.
get hamstrings in and get the glutes in and stuff. So I had to dig really hard. Like I've never dug that hard. I've never really done cardio. I've just done weight training and steps. So this was a first for like 30 minutes of cardio for me because my body responds quite well normally. And then when we did that show, because Jake Watts is my coach from Amp Nutrition, we decided to do like a carb load, and because FitX wasn't important to me, it was a trial, and he said, right, let's load hard, let's do 2 days. I think we did 800 grams of carbs. Fats were obviously really low. Protein was probably about 120, something like that. It was like obviously high carb days. We did that for 2 days, and I was still flat because running up to that point, we hadn't really had much carbs in there, and it just I just couldn't control my midsection. I felt like and it was basically the calories were given to me, meals were given to me, the choice. And obviously my choice is always going to be high volume, cream of rice, volumize the shit out of it, loads of cereal and stuff like that. And then what we've started doing recently is I've let Jake just pick my foods, and it's become stuff like basmati rice. It's become stuff like turkey mince, obviously low fat, 2% fat stuff. We've changed the actual food sources, and it's created a tighter midsection. And I think it's all, personally, I think it's down to the volume that's been in my stomach the days leading up to it, the water retention. Obviously, when you water load and then you're trying to count 10 liters, but then you're also weighing your cream of rice and you're having like, I don't know, 200 grams of cream of rice. That's probably what, like a liter of water. So it was yeah, this was a different approach. What we did with this show, and this was an accident, was because on the, what was the show before that? It was the Hader, I think it was. Yeah, the Hader was the last show I did. And then Jake said, right, you haven't got a show now for 3 weeks. I want you to go out. I want you to eat what you want. So we went out. We got like a Nando's. I got a sharing platter for myself, like the whole thing of chips and everything. I spilt over. I put on about 5.5 kilo, and he was like, "You actually look really, really good and really, yeah, like full and sharp and vascular." And then I said the next day when I checked in on the Tuesday, I said, "There's a PCA show this weekend," and he said, "Are you mad?" And I was like, "No, I think I could pull in for it." And he said, "I'm going to have to hammer you then." So what he did is we basically carb loaded for the show was on the Saturday. Was it the Saturday? Show was on the Saturday. Sunday was off plan. Monday was off plan. Tuesday I checked in, was 5K up on stage weight. Obviously just ate what I wanted, ate loads of shit, had like Nando's and Wagamamas and went out for meals with the missus and stuff because we both had 3 weeks between shows. And then 5 days before I said, there's a PCA show. I want to give it one last shot because I've done 5 PCA shows. I've placed in every single one, but never won it. I wanted to go for the last attempt before I head back to the Isle of Man. Was let's give it one more crack. And he was like, right, we'll try it a different way. So we'll load you from, obviously I loaded Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then we pulled back to moderate on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then obviously Saturday we went quite, let's say, quite restrictive with the calories. The carbs were sitting around 300, fats were probably around 30, and protein maybe 170, something like that. And every single day I got tighter, but I stayed full because I was keeping my training volume quite low. It was like one top set, like 4 reps away from failure, just getting some blood in there, but not actually depleting the glycogen. And the look on the day was the sharpest I've ever looked. I woke up in the morning, I looked in the mirror, and I was like, "It's on! Like it is on today."
Basically,
I thought it's going to take
like a ridiculous front load, like a binge front
It was
load.
like, yeah, it was almost like a front load, and it depends what works for your body on the day, but like, yeah, it seemed to work. The midsection, I practiced the posing a lot as well. It was very hard for me to, because I don't do much cardio. I never normally need to. I struggle with like my breathing on stage. So I've been practicing that, and I've been nailing the posing. And Jake's had me in the posing room over and over, and I'll send him a check-in video, and he'll go and do that again. It wasn't good enough, and then I'll be in the posing room for an hour until he says, right, you can leave the gym now. And that's the detail we went to that week. So it was kind of drilled into me. And then before I was going to bed, I was practicing like holding that shot for like up to maybe 40 seconds, but trying to like not like let my abs go, looking in the mirror. So I think a lot of it was posing. A lot of it was down to the type of food I was eating. But yeah, it was a very good look. And I've got Portugal in 2 weeks. So at the moment, I'm on 600 carb for probably, well, I don't know. I'll see how I respond tomorrow. Weight only went up 1.1 kilo from stage weight on those photos you're looking at from yesterday to today. And I had completely freedom of, I probably had 250 grams of cereal pre-bed last night. Just a massive mixing bowl of cream of rice and cereal. Yeah, loads of cookies and stuff like that. So yesterday I went a bit mad. I woke up, I was only like 1.1 kilo up or something. So today I've gone back to macros, kind of used cream of rice, kind of used cereal, kind of used normal basmati, kind of mix things up a little bit. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And then I'll check in and we'll just assess fullness. But I've got 2 weeks this time. So it means I can play around for a week, get as full as possible. And he knows that, well, we both know now that within 4 days, if we need to, we can pull in that condition on those macros. And that'll be my final show of the season. That's me throwing the towel in for Portugal, and that's the amateur Olympia. So it's a pro qualifier, obviously qualified at the hard body and the Hader shows. And I'm not going for a pro card or anything like that. I'm not I'm not daft. I know I'm not of that caliber, but I want to stand next to the big boys, which is why I'm doing that show. I could go and do a shit show somewhere, but I'd rather go to one of the biggest stages and see where I stand against, you know, the big boys, so that I can have a good 18-month off season, assess where I need to be, density, where I need to add size and all that sort of stuff, and then go from there, to be honest. And then like come back from that after the off season, I'll actually be a senior because I'm 33, so I'll be classed as senior, but I'll still go obviously into the open classes and go from there. But yeah, it's that last show it's all fun for me at this point. There's nothing riding on it. It's all paid for. It was always going to be the final destination, finish off the season in Portugal, and the plan was to do one PCA show. FitX was a warm up, then the PCA Universe. We were going to do the Hader, and then we were going to do Portugal. So the idea was I was going to do one practice show and then a PCA, a two bros, and then the actual Portuguese show. And I've ended up doing like there was 2 weeks where I did 2 shows on a Saturday and a Sunday. I just got addicted to it, mate. You know, when you just like, there's a show tomorrow, it's 2 hours away. I can register now. I'm already in shape. I'm already peaked. Right, let's just do it.
Yeah. That's cool, man. It sounds like it sounds like an awesome project so far, which is like pretty cool because like it's nice to hear. And to be fair, mate, I will say, like, honestly, I think from the front, obviously you're not at a pro standard or like collectively, but I think from your front shot, mate, is really good. Like, I don't think that you're going to be destroyed in the front. I think from the back, I think you probably will have some dudes that just have like an insane taper and ridiculous like in certain lats. But like your front shot, mate, is really nice. Like, yeah, like the front shot, like,
with a bit
really,
more
really
arm
nice
from the front. And it might even just be a bit more of a pump through the arms. Like that front shot is really good. And like Reece said, from the back, I think if you were a bit sharper, your back shot would be really good.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like collectively, man, it's been really good. I saw the reel. I think someone shared it, and I saw it before, like I even realized you won the overall. It was after that, and I think, like I said, someone has shared it, and I was like, shit, like what the fuck? Like, honestly, man, it was like lights out in comparison to the previous.
Yeah,
like,
and we know what PCA reels are like, don't we? In terms of quality, I've heard you talk about that before. That is like a washed out version of what I actually look like.
Yeah.
So if I look good in a PCA reel, then I look good even better when on the day. So yeah, I was really happy with the condition, to be honest, on that day. This time, obviously, we've got 2 weeks. So what I'm hoping is to put on a little bit more weight, pull it back down, fill up even more this time, because my body just looked depleted. The feedback in the previous show was from the judges was I was just lacking fullness, and like the muscles were flat and they weren't popping, and I couldn't get a pump. And it was because I'd just done show after show after show after show. And the first shows, I feel like I kind of messed them up because I carb loaded too heavy, almost like a bodybuilder would. Like you would go and do like a really heavy backload at the end, and it messed up my midsection. I just couldn't control it. But again, it's all data. It's all data for future shows. It's data for the next. Obviously, when I do another season, I've got another season hopefully in me, depending on how off season goes. But just just excited to get into Portugal and see what I look like on like a stage with people that are going to win their pro cards. Hopefully,
and then
hopefully whoever's in my height class goes on to win their pro card, so I can say, right, that's the standard of my height class.
Maybe saying that, bro. You never know. We'll see. Like I said, man, I think your front shot's very good.
You never know, but Ben Bray's going to be there as well, isn't he? So I've just been chatting to him, and I'm like, God, don't stand me next to him.
Well, hopefully he's doing Ireland this weekend, isn't he? So if he wins his pro card, just fingers crossed he wins.
He's doing Ireland. I don't. To be honest, I don't really like. I know that the Olympia one is going to be huge. I know there's probably going to be like 20, 30 guys competing in it, and there's free pro cards. So I'm not stupid. I'm not going for a pro card. I'm going for comparison purposes and for, again, data collection. Also, my missus, who I've mentioned, Christy, she did her PCA Universe. She did that like. That was always my goal. She was never a PCA girl. She was always a two bros girl. First ever show season, she decided, I'm just going to jump on stage. She's literally, if you go on her Instagram, I think it's Christy Hans X, you'll see her stage shots from the universe. But like, she just come in so like genetically peeled. It was insane. So Jake was like, right, I think you should do PCA. And she was like, well, I don't know the pose. And he said, you've got a week to learn it. She hired a posing coach. That's her there. If you click on that one, you'll be able to, that's her in the middle. If you click on that, you'll be able to find her page. But so she learned the posing within a week. She then did the qualifier. She won the entire show. She won her pro card, then obviously won the entire show. So Yeah, she's going for her pro card in Portugal. So I do think that she's legitimately like in with a good chance, because in the last two regionals she did in the overall, she comes second in both of them. Again, it depends what the judges are looking for, but the feedback was she was too lean for a regional. But then in a pro qualifier, you've got to be leaner. So, this all messes with my head, never mind her head. But you can see there, that's her sister and next to her in that last shot, actually. It's a family thing, this whole thing. They both got into the overall in that last show. So, yeah, super proud of both of them as well. So, big shout out to those. And they're both coached by Jake. Jake kind of has the entire family. So, that's her and her sister. I used to coach both of them for like lifestyle/transformation. That's kind of what I do. And then when they decided they wanted to do shows, that's where I kind of step away. I don't want to get involved in that sort of stuff. I feel like it's just beyond my level of comfort to push someone's body to that point where you've got to like, I see her walking around the house like a zombie, like looking for a broccoli that she's already put on the side and stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't mind doing lifestyle transformations, but yeah, that's the girls there. Absolutely, they train together. We've lived together in Brighton. We've moved from give my YouTube a shout out while I'm on here actually. So Danny Hans Physique. I've documented the whole prep on there, so there's like a weekly vlog, and it finishes with us packing our house up on the Isle of Man, renting it out, and then moving to this Airbnb I'm sat outside of here in Hove, just because it's like 20 minutes away from our coach Jake, so we can go and do in-person check-ins with him. We can go and train there. It's about an hour and a bit away from Maidenhead, which is convenient. It's 6.5 hours from Hull, so that was quite a drive. But yeah, when you're in the Isle of Man, it's a 4-hour ferry, and that's just to get to Liverpool. And then you can imagine the travelling down to London's another 4 hours. So we've just decided to up our roots, come and live in Brighton for 8 weeks. And that's why I've done show after show, because I'm like, I'm here. It's almost like it's like paying for 2 weeks at Disney and just going to the Magic Kingdom. You don't do it like you go to the other parks, don't you?
Yeah.
If that's an analogy you're used to. I should have probably used a football analogy with you guys.
Yeah,
though.
but no, I get it.
Like it's like getting your Liverpool season ticket and only going watching them play. Like I don't know, Norwich.
Going to the Euros and watching like Romania, Albania, and then going home.
Yeah, and just skipping the final because it's like it's inconvenient. It's a half-hour drive from your house.
Yeah.
I mean, we've like she did like there she is there with a like absolute like that day I was absolutely speechless because it was completely like a week before it wasn't even planned, and then all of a sudden I was walking out of the arena with with a pro card under my arm, with swords, with a massive check. She come third in the actual pro show as well, so she competed against all the pros that had come from China, and I don't know where the winner had come from, maybe Korea. They travelled over, and she come third against those. So yeah, it was that was quite a special day. That's when I realised that this show season wasn't about me; it was about her, and I was just a passenger in the journey. But yeah, it's been one hell of a journey, and we have got a few YouTube videos coming up. I've hired a few videographers that are currently working on some of the shows. So there is one for the 2 Universe Days, which will be on soon. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks they'll be out. We've got one for the Hader, and we've hired someone to follow us around Portugal. So this will all be documented within that YouTube channel that I'm trying to grow. So hopefully I'll have as many as Reese one day on there.
Yeah, there you go.
Get on it.
Awesome.
Danny
Right,
Hans Physique. When you sat there with your bowl of cream of rice and you've got nothing to watch, or when you've got 45 minutes of cardio to do, I always just go and find a Reese podcast or a Reese. But to be fair, like when we drive, I just stick on the podcast.
Yeah. Reese's podcast.
Just it's my podcast.
No, Reese, it's more like Reese's YouTube, isn't it?
Reese's
it's kind of your podcast. Yeah, that you made. Once you're in, I suppose.
Awesome, Danny. Well, thank you for coming on, mate. It's going to kick us off in 3 minutes, so we'll wrap it up. But thank you ever so much for your time.
No problem.
Best of luck for Portugal in 2 weeks, and obviously as well, best of luck to your wife. It's really, really good to hear, and it's been a really good chat, which hopefully the viewers have enjoyed. So we'll have to get you on, mate, when it comes to like wrapping up your show season in the future and stuff like that. And
yeah, we'll get an off-season update in there or something.
Yeah, no, definitely, and hopefully it's a case where your potential wife's got a pro card and you've done really well. You never know. So yeah.
Okay. Cheers, guys. Cool. Much appreciate your time. Thanks for having me on.
No worries.
See you guys later.
Right. Reese's podcast. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah. Your face, you're like,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
So
It was
bad.
like
Look,
it was
I
like now and
think-
again I'll watch a Reese's YouTube, Reese's this. Like, excuse me, I decide who comes on this. I could have just removed him right then.
No, mate. I'm the one who got him involved.
Yeah, but I
So,
decide who comes on.
yeah.
You messaged me like, can we get this guy on? I was like, yeah, sound. If I'd have said no, you'd have been
No,
like,
I
okay.
said, mate, I
You
don't know about that. I was just
100%.
like,
You
I
asked
said
for
he's
permission. You have to ask for permission first.
This is your ego taking a hit. You're not the big bro, even though you're older than me, mate. You're not the guy. All right, let's be
Mate.
frank.
What do
Yeah,
you mean?
VAR, WM,
I'm a British champ. You're not British
mate.
champ.
No, but Finn, it's like you've mentioned a British champ more than I've ever heard anybody say about epoxy title.
Men's
You don't even
medium.
have to qualify.
Men's medium British
Just
champ.
turn up. Fair enough. I'm gonna start getting all my wins and say, I've got more wins than you, bro. What's that about? And then you're gonna go, oh, this, that.
Yeah, I'll find all my
that.
my Fitex one.
Yeah, 2 wins, bro. Come on, step it up.
Oh,
I
is
think
that
you've
all
done
I've
more
got?
shows than me at this point. Yeah, 2 wins.
No, I'm only joking. I'm not. I'm obviously joking. I'm obviously winding you up. But you did ask for permission if you could come on.
I know. I just said we'll get him on because I didn't know if you already sorted anybody else out.
Right, let's wrap it up. I need to make food. It's so fucking boiling as well, isn't it? I'm sweating like mad.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. I'll see you tomorrow at the gym, and then obviously up the England. You got the beers?
I'll get the beers in, yeah.
Nando's
and beers, yeah.
Nando's and beers. Yeah. Sound right. Cool. See you later, guys. Bye bye.